All right then. So in this video, we are going to discuss about how to create this awesome loader. So we are going to focus more on the UI designs, moreover on daily basis, and we are going to upload weekly once, trying to upload weekly once a project. And this, the full stack AI mock interview by using Next.js, TypeScript, and ShadCN, and using Google Firebase and using Gemini AI will be uploaded by Monday evening 5 p.m. for Indian Standard Time. All right, so and that's the same way we are going to upload it, the same project in Tamil channel, more in specifically for Tamil as well as, so it will be uploaded by Monday 5 p.m. for Indian Standard Time, right? And every day we are going to upload a UI design just by using HTML and CSS, right? And in this case we are going to discuss how to create this awesome loader animation just by using plain HTML and CSS, right? And I'm going to provide you the complete CSS code, so you can download the this CSS code for your own purpose, and it's completely free to use, right? So let's start how to build that. So in this case, inside this utilities folders and loaders, I'm going to create a new folder over here called hash tag loader animation. So inside this, I'm going to create a new file called index.html, and inside this I'm going to create a new file called styles.css, right? So this is the thing. Let me make it a little bit bigger, and inside the index.html, so let's bring the boilerplate code over here, and I'm going to change this to hash tag loader animation. Okay, then I'm going to link our styles.css /styles.css. So for this, we are using three different extension. One, which is going to be our Google Fonts. So we are going using the Google Fonts extensions in order to load the Google Fonts directly into our Visual Studio Code, either to the HTML or using the the CSS file. Then I'm using the Prettier for aligning our code and for formatting our code. Then I'm using the live server for running our local HTML file in the local development server, right? So these are the three different extensions that you have to install. Then inside the body tag, let's fix the wireframe. So we have one h1 tag and a simple division. That's it. So let me create one h1 tag, h1, and I'm going to say hash tag animation effect. Then I'm going to have a division with this class name called loader, right? So save these changes, and I'm going to run this project in a live server. So let me run it, and here we go, right? So this is the thing, and inside the styles.css, first I need to bring our font. So let me press Ctrl Shift P or Command Shift P in order to load the Google Fonts directly into the CSS, or simply search for Google Fonts. You can find out either through HTML or through CSS. I'm going to use the CSS. Then I'm going to load the Poppins font, which is going to bring the complete weight of the Poppins font. Save these changes. Then I'm going to target every single element in it, which is in case it's going to say margin as a 0, and padding as a 0, and box sizing as the border box, right? So the reason why we are setting this border box is, so basically the box sizing border box ensures that the padding and the borders are included in the width and height of an elements. So moreover, we used to avoid the unexpected sizing issues. That's to fix that. We are using it for every single element. We are fixing it into the border box. Later, if there is any changes, if we need to add for any specific elements, we can customize it. Then inside here, I'm going to target the body tag. I'm going to fix the width into 100 viewport width and height into 100 viewport height. So basically this VW and VH, it's like viewport width and viewport height, which means the site, it doesn't matter in which screen you're loading, it's going to access the width and height of that specific screen using this meta tag, right? So then right after here, I'm going to change the entire display into a flex. This will change the flow of the elements from into a row direction, then change it into again the column direction. Then align everything in the center, align items in the center, and justify content as well as in the center on both vertical and horizontal, and the gap in between is going to be 120 pixels. Then I'm going to make sure the overflow should be hidden. Overflow should be hidden, right? Then now let's go ahead and target the loader. So dot loader, that's the style which we have created. I'm going to mark this as a position, as a relative position. The reason is because I'm going to target the pseudo elements of this loader. So that is going to be loaded before and after of this particular element. So in order to access that, I need to make sure this particular loader as a relative position to keep those pseudo elements as an absolute position. So right. So here, what I need to do, I'm going to target the width as 2.5 EM. So basically, what is this EM? So this EM is in the sense like we can say this EM is a unit. So we used to say this EM, one second. So we used to call this EM as a unit in CSS for the relative length unit, right? For a relative length unit, we use this EM. So basically, it is based on the font size of the nearest parent or the root font size if no parent has been specified, right? So let's understand how does it work. So basically, if the font size of your parent, assume that your font size of your parent is 16 pixels. That's the default browser font size, right? So if you are using one eminent EM points, which means it is going to be, if you are typing one EM points in the sense, that means it's 16 pixel. On the other hand, if you are using 2 EM means, that means it is going to be 2 into 16 pixels, which is going to be the 32 pixels, right? So this is how it is going to work. If you are specifying the root font size as a 24 pixels, then it's going to work on based on that. If you don't mention anything, it is going to keep it the default browser font size as 16 pixels, right? So that is the how the the EM points it's going to work. So the EM ensures the loader size of over here, width and height. So I'm going to use the height as well as over here as what we can do, 2.5 EM. 2.5 EM. Save it. Then right after here, I'm going to say the display, it's going to be flex. Okay, it's not necessary because inside this, I'm not going to keep any single element. So I'm just going to transform, rotate as 165 degree. So for visually appealing, I'm just rotating it for that certain angle to make it geometrically to look more awesome, right? Just for UI purpose. And now let's go ahead and target the before and after pseudo elements. So dot loader colon before, and it's the same way dot loader colon after. So these are the pseudo elements that we are trying to access. Let's say position as an absolute position, and I'm not going to load any content for the time being. I'm just going to say content as ABC something. Now you should see we have the ABC text over here. So if I inspect the elements over here and get into the loader section, and you can see we have the before and the after elements. Both of them are exactly on the same location. That's the reason the text is being overlapped. So now I don't need to display any specific content over here. So now we know what's the purpose of having the pseudo elements before and after, right? So let's go ahead and write the remaining styles over here. So from the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it 50%. So top 50%, and from the left 50%, and I'm going to transform and use the translate method. So both x and y axis needs to be minus 50% and minus 50%. So this will try to pinpoint the pseudo elements always in the exact center location, right? Then I'm just going to say display block, then width, which is going to be 0.5 EM, and height, which is going to be 0.5 EM, eminent points. Then the border radius, which is going to be dot 0.25 EM, something like this. So you can't see anything, but you can see a mild dot over there, but because it doesn't have any background color or anything, so we need to make sure that the background colors and everything will be displayed properly. Okay, so don't worry, so it will be added. So we are going to add that coloring effects and everything through the shadow, through the box shadow. I'm going to bring that coloring and everything. Then I'm going to change those colorings and everything through the animation. So let's load the animations over here. So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to target the animation for both the pseudo and the after, pseudo elements for before and the after. So dot loader, which is going to be colon before, open it. So animation, which is in case it's going to be before underscore, give a proper name but don't use a keyword, and 2 seconds infinite. So basically for animation, this is the syntax. You need to supply the animation name and the seconds and the how the animation effect it should be, whether it is going to load once or it's going to be loaded multiple times, right? Then I'm going to target the dot loader colon after, open it. I'm just going to say animation. See, you can see name, duration, timing function, delay, and iteration, how frequently you need to iterate it, all these things. Okay. All right, so let's give a name for this. Let's name it as after underscore 8, like the same thing, 2s and infinite. Save it. Now we do have the animations, but we can't see anything. So I'm going to create some keyframes. I'm going to target this before animations at keyframes. Let me bring it to the top, open it. So I'm going to target the 0%, 0% first, open it. So I'm going to give the width as 0.5 EM points. So at 0%, this is going to be the width. Then I'm going to give the box shadow. So basically for the box shadow, so we do have a very specific syntax, right? So first, so here, let me give you the syntax over here. So for the box shadow, you need to supply the horizontal. This is for horizontal offset. This is for horizontal offset. Right after here, you need to supply the vertical offset. Then right after here, you need to give the blur radius of your color, blur radius. Then right after here, you need to supply the spread radius, how much it needs to spread radius. Then you need to supply the color. Okay, this is going to be the syntax, right? So, and keeping this syntax in the mind, we need to write the styles for our color. So for our box shadow, so the same syntax can be extended different number of times by keep on adding comma after that. So here I'm going to target for this. So I'm going to use the 1 EM points, EM units, 1 EM. Then next, right after that, what we are going to do is we are going to give the size as minus 0 EM and RGBA. The color code, which is going to be 225, 20, 98 and 0.75. Then right after here, comma, again minus 1 EM, same 0.5 EM and RGBA, 111 and 202, 220 and 0.75. Save these changes, and now you should be able to see like this, right? So the reason is because we are seeing two different shadow. It's because this is one shadow and this is another one shadow. Okay, so let's go ahead and target the next on 35%. How the same thing, the width is going to be 2.5 EM. Then the same box shadow, which is going to be 0 and minus 0.5 EM. Then RGBA, the same color code, 225, 20, 98, 0.75. Then let's go ahead and for the next color, which is going to be 0.5, and this is color code. Copy this color code and paste it over here. Save it. And this is how it is going to be on 35%. Okay, so here I'm missing this point, and now you should be able to see it's working much better way. Then let's go ahead and target the 70%. Open it, and I'm going to copy the same thing and I'm going to paste it over here, but this time the width is going to be 0.5%. 0.5 em points, and this time the box which is going to be -1 em and minus 0.5, and the second one is going to be 1 em and 0.5. so save these changes. Okay, then right after here I'm going to target the 100%. I'm going to paste the same, and this time I don't need to give the width, but the box shadow it's going to be 1 em minus 0.5 em RGBA, the same color code, and here the same minus 1 em and 0.5 em RGBA. Okay, and this is how it looks. Now you can see it's keep on repeating the same kind of animation. So we have to do the same thing for the after. So at keyframes after underscore 8, open it. So I'm going to target the 0% now, 0%, and I'm going to paste it. So the instead of width right now we are going to use the height. So height, which is going to be 0.5 em, and the box shadow it's going to be here for 0.5 em. Then here I'm going to use 1 em and RGBA, which is going to be 61, 184 and 143 and 0.75. And this second shadow is going to be minus 0.5 em minus 1 em RGBA, 223, 169, 32 and 0.75. Okay, so save these changes. And now okay, so we can't see anything. Well, okay, so I forgot to save these changes, and you can see we are getting some different color over here, right? So let's go ahead and target the next one, the same 35%. So I'm going to copy from here to here, and I'm going to put it over here, and this time height, which is going to be 2.5. so make sure so that follow the same width and height size for exactly in the same order. On 0%, width is going to be 0.5, here 0.5. try to keep it the same size, don't alter it, right? So here 0.1. so here you can see we are just customizing it a little bit, so try to keep it on exactly the same way. The width and height needs to be exactly the same way. Okay, for 35, and this time this is going to be 0, same color code, and for the 35 see minus, and this time this is also going to be 0. save it, and you can see this is how it looks. We need to make it a little bit more clear, so 70%, open it. I'm going to paste it. Height, which is going to be 0.5 itself, 0.5 here also, but this time this is going to be a negative value, and 0.5, and this time this is going to be 1. Okay, these are just trial and error. You should adjust it until you feel that animations and everything are going to be quite looking good. Then 100%, paste it. This time I don't need the height, but here 1, and this is fine. See, this is how it looks, and that's look so good, right? So we finally finished our fully functional that hashtag loader animation, which is looking so good, right? And let's see how it is looking over here. Here it is been rotating, but here it is not rotating. Why? Did we messed up somewhere? So let me check it out. Before and after. Okay, no mistakes so far. Animations before 8, after 8, okay, that's fine. And for 0%, this is okay. Okay, so I figured out the mistake. So over here I failed to give the point, the sizes, the unit size, right? So you need to supply the unit size over here for before underscore 8. So I failed to give the unit size on the 70%. So don't make that mistake. Please try to give the unit size, and now you should be able to see this is how it's looking. And we created our exact same style just like this. We have our same style over here. And this code is completely free. I already posted in the GitHub. So please go ahead and click the link in the description below, and you can download the source code and give a star for our GitHub for this work, right? If you enjoyed it. And if you enjoy this video, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below.